This reading is for Elisha. Elisha, thank you for asking me to do your reading today. So first I kind of want to talk about a little to do with you, and then we'll look at him, and then we'll kind of look at things. It does seem like you're someone who is a romantic, in love with love type of personality. You really stay busy with what's going on in life around you. But, you know, you're okay to be alone, but you're also perfectly able to live with a partner. Because when you are by yourself, you do miss that romance in your life. You're the type of person that really likes to put a man on a plate and be like, oh, that's my hero. But not that you really want him to jump in and save you, because you're very used to doing things on your own and you know how to get things done the right way in your life. But just, to have that solid person, you could count on, that's important to you. So, while you don't need to have a man physically around because you can handle your own, it's nice for you. When you are in a relationship, you do tend to take the lead with things. You tend to be kind of the wear the pants a little bit more than previous partners that you've had. You also have the tendency where you kind of pull back emotionally if somebody starts to be too clingy and too needy after a point. You tend to like men who can be more casual and kind of let things happen on their own in the beginning of a relationship. A guy who's able to be a little more distant, a little more quiet is definitely going to get your attention more. It's like you like to earn his attention in a way, or take joy from, being like, oh, wow, see, I did this and now, I get this praise back. But on the flip side of that, you can easily be won over by a guy who gives you a lot of genuine compliments, as long as they're genuine and it's not hokey and it's not too much, and he's not like obsessively trying to take your attention. You do like men who work with their hands. You are someone who, you need to be proud of the person you're with in order to truly love them, or you kind of lose interest in them when that happens. You are somebody who's very empathetic and sympathetic and caring, and you really are somebody that your partner can sit down and talk to and feel heard and feel understood. You're very generous in relationships, and you share everything you can possibly give with somebody, financially, emotionally. You're not greedy and you don't hold back at all, almost too giving at times. And you're very honest by nature. You're very faithful. It's extremely unlikely that you would ever be in love with two people at the same time. That's just not your character. With that being said, you're also somebody who is very direct in your speech and your actions. And you're that way with love too. You don't play games, and you expect that your partner, is going to be as good of a sharer as you are. And if he's not being, you're not going to hesitate to call him on that. Your friendships with people, they're kind of scattered and all over the place, but you're not selfish in your friendships either. That's not who you are. One thing you don't like is to be corrected in public. That really bothers you. You can be a handful, but you can also be really, really soft. You're smart. You like to talk a lot. You're not someone who tends to be like really sickly, or, oh, I'm so tired all the time. You are more of a homebody, and you're not really out, all the time and always active, and that just because of your career and your life. But if anything, is to have you down, it's more on a pain level. So, during those times when you really hurt and your body really aches, you do enjoy being taken care of by your partner. You do have a jealous streak. You can be really sensitive about any attention given to any other women, and That's perfectly okay when it's under wraps and controlled. You want passion, you want romance, and when you don't get that, you are unhappy. So when that attention is given to somebody else, you kind of feel upset about it, and that's understandable. When you are unhappy, though, you speak up, and you don't. If you don't see change after a certain point, you're the type of person who doesn't hesitate to move on from the relationship. It just gets to a point where enough is enough. As far as he goes, he can be somewhat passive. So the fact that you're a little more outspoken, kind of balances each other out. He is not the type to be very aggressive in pursuing you. So again, that's the whole cat mouse game you kind of like. He can be quiet. He's very down to earth. And he probably took some time to decide whether he wants to be in a relationship, because that's just his nature. But once he's made up his mind, he's going to pursue, and he's going to do these romantic gestures. I'm not talking about these huge, like rose petal everywhere type of thing, although he may do that sometimes. But he's more where he's going to make you feel taken care of in more of a financial or planning a future type of way. He's definitely the type to put things in place to build a solid life together once he's serious about you. He's got that peaceful, easygoing nature overall, and that calmness causes him to be really stable. And that's going to give you a lot of contentment, because you're not going to deal with a lot of that unpredictability you have in the past. And it also makes him very mature in that he plans for tomorrow carefully. Now, with all that being said, he definitely prefers somebody who is a little less loud and outspoken. So he's gonna be more receptive to your toned down, feminine, girly side, more so than the tomboyish, swearing kind of, louder energy. He does respect you for being really smart, but he also is the type that wants to be the alpha male. He wants to be the man, the leader in the relationship, and that will cause some conflict because you have that strong independent streak in you. When he's set on something, you're not going to be able to budge him. He's extremely stubborn, and even joking around and doing cutesy things that may have worked with people in the past to bring them out of that mood. He's not the type of person you can do that with. You just kind of have to compromise mostly if you really can't give him his way, because he's gonna put down his feet and be extremely stubborn and firm in what he thinks is right and what he wants in an argument. But overall, you both are extremely honest people in love, and you're very, very compatible in a lot of ways. So now on to the cards. Okay. So it does seem like you are at a point where you're trying to get your courage together to make a decision and take some action with something in this relationship. You've gone through some emotional losses in the past, and some of these past relationship issues you're still working through. This is an ongoing healing process for you. In your past, it does look like you kind of took a break from love, withdrew from love life, and put some things on hold with that so you could have some alone time to start that healing process. So that's really good. With your future, this is your near future, usually within a 3-month window. It does seem like a lot of the things you've gone through are going to change, and you're going to be in this period of having that love and that feeling of fulfillment, and just having a more active love life. It does seem like subconsciously you are worried about unfaithfulness and addiction. Unfaithfulness and addiction with this person. You worry about losing your independence, having those codependent tendencies. Those are things that are scaring you subconsciously. Being hurt again more than anything. Consciously, though, you are excited about the idea of new romance and this deep friendship that the two of you share, and taking things to the next level and having that, just that deeper intimacy that you're really looking for. Now, as far as advice, just continue to be the honest person that you are. You can still keep your independence and not push him away. So again, the compromise with him is going to be extremely important. Allow him to attempt to help you with things. Even if you got this and you can do it and you can, and it kind of aggravates you to have him jump in and help. Allow him to help and praise him for it, because that's really important to him and his ego. He really needs that. So yeah, be objective, with your behavior, and be perceptive as to what he needs, and receptive to allowing him to do those things for you. So it does seem like somebody is kind of putting a wrench in things as far as, this is somebody extremely immature, and it just seems like they're trying to interfere with the two of you in some way and somehow and cause some problems, but this just seems like something that can be dismissed, and try not to let it interfere and bother things at all. It just seems like petty nonsense from somebody's ex, or even an adult child, but I'm feeling more of an ex. It is kind of trying to screw things up, but they won't be successful. Your hopes, you are hopeful that your days of struggling with everything are going to come to an end, and you can put some of those painful chapters that you've gone through behind you for good. And with your final cards, looking at the relationship and what it can be for you guys, the two of you have charted this in to bring growth to each other and lessons to each other. There's something that you're each going to take from this union that's going to be an important life lesson. I do feel like with the right amount of effort on both ends, and it's going to take effort on both ends, that this could turn into a really good partnership. So I'm excited for you both. Keep me updated. Sending lots of love, and I'll talk to you soon.